Hey, my loves, it's me, Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I am here with this week's All Tea, All Shade Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 17, Episode 11 review. So, the episode picks up where Shannon tells her boyfriend, John, about getting into it with the girls, about them being in their relationship and feeling ambushed by all of them. And she's crying, and he says that they need to shut the F up. I don't know why that tickled me so much. So Heather FaceTimes with Gina and says that her day is already messed up because in order to talk to Shannon, she has to drive to Huntington where Shannon is setting up for her taco party. It's like the national taco holiday or something like that. And she's having an event that she invited all the girls to. And Gina says that she's just going to text her and tell her that she's not coming because she doesn't think Shannon wants her there anyway. Because the last time Shannon saw everybody was the previous Friday, where she left upset because it's when she found out that they've been talking about her and John's relationship. So Heather still ends up going all the way out to Huntington to meet up with Shannon. And Shannon is there, like I said, setting up all the table, scape, and all of that stuff. So Heather kicks it off right from the jump, like, let's just not, sugarcoat anything. Let's just skip right to it. She was like, she's never initiated a conversation about Shannon's relationship, ever. And when you look back on it, it was always Gina kicked it off. Emily brought it up. But Gina was the one that kicked everything off. So Shannon was like, you're alluding to there is things that are just horrible. And Heather was like, there's been other things, but I'm not going to go there. Now she's saying she's not going to go there, but she went there in her confessional where she told all they business about how the man don't sleep over there to her house. She can't go over to his house because his kids is there. He don't ever pay for nothing. All of this stuff. So Shannon was like, if you're concerned, talk to me, not other people. And Heather was like, you don't remember that you tell lots of people a lot of things, basically saying, girl, when you get on that sauce, when you get drunk and tipsy, you run your mouth. And then the next day, you don't want to talk about it, or you act like you didn't say it, or you don't remember. So Shannon was like, she just like rolls her eyes because she knows she's being called out and what Heather is saying is not a lie. So Shannon was like, so now I'm a loony bin. And it's like, girl, didn't nobody call you crazy? Obviously, that's what you think about yourself. So Shannon was like, John is a private person. And Heather was like, he's not a private person. Stop it. They are sick of you. So Shannon was like, he doesn't want people knowing our personal business. And Heather was like, you can keep saying that, but then you tell us other things that lead us to other conclusions. And Heather in her confessional says that Shannon has told me along with other people that John loves the limelight. And that's a lot of the reason why he's with her. And I'm like, you at this grown big age are that desperate to be in a relationship that you would date somebody that you know in your heart is using you? That's sad. It really is. It really, truly is sad. I feel like Shannon is forcing these relationships because she doesn't want to be alone, A. And I think it's also to show her ex-husband, David, like, I'm not going to be by myself. I'm still desirable. Men still want me. I wasn't the problem. It was you, this, that, and the third. But I really honestly believe that Shannon is still very much in love with David. And now that David and that girl ain't working out, I think if David said he wanted to be back with Shannon, Shannon would run back into that man's arms. When they were at her daughter's graduation or whatever a few months ago and they took that picture together, Shannon was beaming from ear to ear, child. Shannon's still in love with that man. And I think that Shannon struggles with low self-esteem. I think that she struggles with anxiety. I think that Shannon struggles with being alone. Like Shannon has a lot of things that she struggles with. And it shows that she's in this ridiculous relationship with this man. So Shannon at that point has had it. She storms off. That's why her middle name is Storms, child, or her maiden name. And she storms off, takes off her mic, breaks the fourth wall again, walks right past the producers and storms away. I'm like, girl, how much you gonna walk away? So then we see Jen at home with her son, Dom, and, he's adopted. And she asks him if one day he'd like to meet his birth mom. And he was like, yeah. And so she tells him that he looks just like her. And he was like, I do. And she was like, yeah. So she tells us a story in her confessional about how he's often said that he wishes he had hair like his brother, or he wishes he were their color, and how she has to tell him that she wishes she had beautiful brown skin like him. And I think that that's very good that she affirms, that he's different from them, but that he's just as beautiful, if not more beautiful than they are. But I think that it's very, very important for families who adopt children of different races to make sure that their child is exposed to people of their same race. Because I myself, even though both of my parents are Black, I grew up from first to third grade in a predominantly white school where I was one of maybe 2 Black kids in the entire class. So just imagine going to this predominantly white school. It's a prestigious school, and you got all these rich white kids and everything. And I felt like I wasn't good enough because here I am, this Black girl with kinky hair, and you see these white girls with their blonde hair and their blue eyes and their rich families, and you being excluded because you're the Black girl. And it just makes you feel like, I remember being a little girl wishing I was white. Like, I wish I had straight, long, silky hair, and I wish that people liked me because I was white with, light eyes and light hair, and that life was easier being white. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I went to a damn predominantly Black school that's when I really became like comfortable in my skin and loved being Black. You know what I'm saying? So I will applaud Jen, because Jen seems like she's a very good mother and that she really loves her children, and she seems like a very caring person. I think that Jen, though, is very naive when it comes to her relationship with that man, but she needs to make sure that that little boy is around other people of color, and like in some type of program or Big Brother or something like that. So Heather and Terry end up selling their home for $55 million. Child. Ooh, child. I need to know what kind of practice Terry got, child, because I need to marry me a plastic surgeon ASAP. So Emily then FaceTimes Shannon while she's at a coffee shop to talk to her about what happened and tell her that she's going to be late to the taco thing. So they FaceTime, and Shannon tells her not to go to Tamra and talk about her relationship, come to her. And Emily is shaking, child. She is shaking. And she goes off about how Shannon tells them stuff off camera and then act differently on camera. Like, you can't do that. And so Emily tries to hang up on the girl, can't even hang up because she's so like frantic. And she finally ends up hanging up on Shannon. Shannon breaks down again and says she's done. It's so forget. It's like, Shannon, stop storming off. You look stupid, because we know you go walk right back. So they both are talking to producers in their scenes, and Shannon, Emily says to the producers, you're on a freaking reality show. Talk about if it's a normal relationship. Talk about it if it's normal relationship stuff like you're saying. And I agree with Emily, like, you're on a reality show. We have to talk about our reality, which is our life. So stop trying to tell us stuff off camera, and then on the show you want to act like your relationship is just all hunky-dory when it's obvious that it's not. Because even without y'all even telling us that their relationship is toxic, we already know it because of the way Shannon is deathly afraid of this man finding out that she's talked to them about their relationship. Like, she act like he gonna whoop her butt or something. Like, girl, calm down. So then we see Shannon talk to the producers and says if they're a-holes enough to bring up the details, okay, he does not spend enough time with me. Is there enough money? His kids don't like me. I can't talk about that on camera. And she was like, because it's hurtful to John. And then she sees the camera on her. She's like, this can't go on camera. This can't go on camera. It's like, girl, calm down. You would think after everything that David put her through that she would have balls of steel at this point that can't no man stress her out. But it's like, Shannon, get your life in order. And what you mean, is there enough money? So it's obvious that he is dependent on you. So you over here being another Vicky. You over here being a sugar mama for this man. And okay, his son don't like you. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. How old is he? He grown? Oh, I don't even care if you don't like me. So what? But y'all just need to leave each other alone. And honestly, maybe they're doing you a favor by bringing this up, because maybe publicly shaming you will finally give you the courage to leave this man alone, or give him the courage to leave you alone. So Gina goes with Emily to her event instead of going to the taco thing. And it's called the Innocence Project, where Emily and other lawyers help people that were unlawfully imprisoned and did, prison time for crimes that they did not commit. And they helped them get exonerated, which was really good to see that side of what Emily does in her, professional life. So Shannon is distraught, baby, because only 3 couples are showing up to the event. And it's Tamra and her husband, Taylor and her man, and Jenn and the old boy. And one of her other girlfriends was there. So Jenn tells Shannon that Gina said she felt like Shannon was poking around in her relationship, but then no one could talk about hers. Now, mind you, they all at the table at this point having dinner. And Shannon was like, I helped her out with her DUI. She was about to get arrested in front of her kids at 8 o'clock in the morning, and her kids would have had to go to Child Protective Services. My friend called the DEA at 10 o'clock at night to help her. And Jen in her confession was like, you don't talk about a mom and her kids in CPS, especially at the table in front of everybody. If I was Gina, I'd be pissed. Now, we know that Shannon has ran with this story so many times about how she helped her out with that DUI. Okay, girl, Captain save a ho. Like, okay, you did something nice for the girl. But that don't mean she owe you the sun, moons, and stars. She's thanked you, and thanked you. But I think that you can't hold it so much against her. All y'all was drinking tequila. When people get to drinking, people get to tripping. And yeah, it wasn't kitchen table talk because they were in front of other people, but all of this had been discussed on the show, though. We already knew that it was an issue that she could have gotten arrested in front of her kids. Now, the CPS thing, I think, was too much because they still have a father. Well, the daddy was in trouble for allegedly, so maybe it could have been a CPS situation because they both were in trouble with the law. So I don't know. But Heather, we see her touring her new penthouse apartment in LA, which is designed by Roberto Cavalli. I mean, the money, the extravaganza of it all. It's only going to be her and Terry and their 2 kids that are still at home, but damn near out the door. I firmly think that they need to just bring Heather over to LA. I think that she is a much better fit for the LA cast. She has the money. She has the connections. She lives the lifestyle. She would fit so in with this bougie clique of women. And I think that they would give her more of a run for her money than the OC girls. You know what I'm saying? And unless Crystal brings it this season, which I honestly doubt, boot Crystal and bring Heather into the fold, or the new girl, the black girl that's coming on to the show, who husband and herself have a lot of radical views on life. Ain't nobody got time for that. Boot her and bring Heather over there. I would love to see Heather over in LA. What y'all think? Would y'all like Heather over in LA more than OC? And I mean, technically, she sold her OC house and now she's living in LA. So does she even still have a place on the show? Because, who's going to be driving from LA to OC back and forth to film? Ain't nobody got time for all that. So Gina visits Jen at her home, and Gina and her sit down, and she says that Shannon got super defensive when she assumed I was talking about her relationship. And Jen was like, she didn't say anything about you talking about her relationship. What she alludes to is that when you went through your DUI, she helped you and your kids would have gone to CPS if she didn't step in. And Gina is like, excuse you? She said, what? Gina was like, that is absurd. That is a completely false statement. It doesn't even make sense. Like, if everybody that got a DUI, they kids would get taken into child protective services, like that don't even make sense, which it doesn't, but in certain cases it could. But Gina is pissed now and was like, she has to confront Shannon for saying this because you don't bring up her kids. So this is about to be a lot. And now Jen is geared to be labeled the person that's going in between everybody, telling everybody what somebody said. So at the end of the episode, Shannon meets with Emily for lunch. And Emily apologizes for the FaceTime call. Shannon tells her it's not her place to talk about her relationship with other people. Now, mind you, I want to point this out. When Shannon first got there and she sat down, she spoke to her and then just did like this. Like, Shannon was not going to say nothing until she apologized to her. I'm going to have to use that tactic. That's a great strategy. So, like I said, Shannon tells her it's not her place to talk about her relationship with other people. And Emily says that they were concerned. That's the reason why they were talking about it. And yes, I guess that y'all were concerned, but stop talking about it to everybody else except the person that you need to talk about it to. So, Shannon says what pisses me off is Heather insinuating that it's all this bad stuff. She said that you brought it up to her and Tamra and Gina, and she's a liar. Heather Dubrow is calculating and manipulative. Now, what she does not know is that Heather isn't the one that was constantly bringing it up. It was Gina who brought it up. Just like Gina was the one that brought up old girl Jen cheating on her husband and all of this stuff. So Emily says, let's talk about us, not Heather right now. She was like, I'm sorry, and this really bothers me. Because I really like that we've developed a friendship. We've come such a long way. And they make up, but Shannon says that she's going to proceed with caution when it comes to her. And the episode goes off. I thought it was a really good episode. This reminds me a lot of old school OC. I wish that Vicky would have been in tonight's episode at the taco party, whooping it up. But Vicky needs to be made full-time next season. I need that energy back. Like, let's get rid of Heather and bring in the OG of the OC back, Vicky Gunvalson. That's what we need. I think Jen is a really good addition to the show. I think we should keep her. Taylor hasn't really done much of anything yet. She needs to step it up a little bit more, but I like her as a friend of the show. But yeah, that's the OC cast I would love to see. And I would love to see Heather in the next season of Beverly Hills. Not the one coming up, but after that, be casted on Beverly Hills. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about the episode. Overall, I'm going to give it an A. I thought it was really good. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button, you guys. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.